I'm checking out this 4K capture card with HDMI pass-through and 3.5mm audio jacks. I was sent this item by TKHIN for review, and though it is mine to keep, that will in no way influence my opinion of this device. This is a fair and honest review, and the opinions expressed in this video are mine and mine alone. As for an initial test of the card, you're looking at it right now, as I'm running my camera's HDMI output into the card and recording this on my PC. But it can do a lot more than this, so let's get on with the review. And right here's the USB capture card from TKHIN. It's got a lot of tech specs written on the box. I'm going to throw a pic of those specs up on the screen right now for a few seconds, so for anyone who wants to read them, pause the video right now. And in the box we get the card and paperwork. Ain't nobody got time for that. We also get a double-ended full-size USB 2.0 cable. The card has HDMI in, pass-through out, and on the other side we have our USB out. And don't let that blue color fool you. This is a USB 2.0 card. We also have our 3.5mm audio ports, one for a mic and one for headphones. Physical setup is simple. Just attach the included USB cable to this USB port and the cable's other end to a USB port on your PC. The HDMI device that you want to capture will feed into the in port on the card, and the out port will go to your TV or HDMI monitor. Though if you don't want to monitor your output live, running an HDMI cable out is not required for the card to operate. It can simply function solely as a capture device. Setup was a breeze in OBS. The card was instantly recognized with no additional software or drivers required. And as you can see here, pass-through to my monitor worked just fine. And I'm not a gamer, so I don't have the latest and greatest consoles available for testing, but here's captured footage from an Xbox 360. The card does a good job of capturing both video and audio, and I think it sounds great. I did some 4K capture tests from the graphics card on my PC, and at 4K input, the card can't capture anywhere near 60 frames per second. With a 60 FPS setup on OBS, at 4K, this card dropped at least 2 out of every 3 frames. The performance got better when I changed my PC's output to 1080p, where it only dropped half the frames, which is pretty standard for low-end, cheap capture cards, as most of them claim to capture 30 frames per second at 1080p. I did get a full 60 FPS recording when I changed the PC's output to 720p. Again, this is standard for low-end capture cards. And just to make sure it wasn't OBS dropping the frames, these are the stats that I got when I did a 1080p recording at 60 FPS with a 4K input. And I'm using NVIDIA NVENC as my encoder, for anyone who is wondering. We are able to use headphones to monitor the HDMI audio being captured by the device, and in my opinion, it sounds really good. The mic port, on the other hand, isn't so great. There's no way to control the audio inputs of the audio devices being input into the card either. The final mixed output of the card can be turned up or down in OBS, but that doesn't do us any good for this pre-mixed audio. I think the weak mic input won't be a big deal for a lot of people, because I think most people who stream or record won't be using the mic jack of this device anyway. Most people will just be using an external microphone. But here's a test of that mic input anyway, for anyone who is curious. Here I'm doing a mic test of the built-in microphone port of the TKHIN Capture Card. I'm using a Takstar SGC 598 shotgun microphone running through about a 3-foot extension cable. My mouth is about this far away from the microphone. The audio level in Windows is boosted to 100% for the microphone, and as you can hear, the audio input level for this mic is very, very quiet. And you're going to hear in the preceding clip that when coupled with an HDMI device with this analog audio, the input from this 3.5mm mic port just doesn't cut it. It gets drowned out. And this is what it sounds like when you place the microphone. The direct input of the HDMI. The HDMI overpowers the microphone tremendously. If you're looking to use this card to capture the output of your camera's HDMI port and turn it into a makeshift webcam, it will get the job done. Here are a few side-by-side comparisons. You'll see a little loss in quality from the capture card, which tends to add more contrast and oversaturate the colors a bit. And if you look closely, you'll also see a bit more grain from the card, but it shouldn't be a showstopper. And here's a side-by-side of the card's quality in comparison to the Flint D4P capture card, which runs around $160. Hey, sorry to interrupt this video for a public service announcement. I'm going to try to make this as fast as possible, but this video is going to be interrupted anyway by an upcoming ad, and I respect your time. Said ad is probably going to happen here in just a few seconds, and if you want to watch all of my content ad-free without any interruptions on LBRY TV, there's a link in the description below. On LBRY, you can get paid for watching, and I can get paid just because you watched. No one has to deal with ads, so everybody wins. And if you are indeed watching this on LBRY right now, forget everything I just said, and continue watching this video interruption-free. So my final opinion of the TKHIN Capture Card? Well, if you need a high resolution plus frame rate capture card, this is probably not going to do it. But if you need a 1080 30 FPS card with Passthrough, this one will do just fine. If you just need something to capture your camera's output and turn it into a makeshift webcam, I would just go with one of the cheaper, non-pass-through cards that are out on the market right now. But if you absolutely need a 60 FPS card that can do 1080 resolution, unfortunately, at this point in time, you're just going to have to spend a lot more money for the cards that can do that. But I think I've covered everything that this card can do, and I want to wrap this video up by giving a big shout out to my channel supporters. If you would like to support this channel either on Patreon or Ko-Fi, there are links in the description. Donations are appreciated, but never expected. As always, the best way to support this channel, or any small creator, is to interact. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. That's it for now, and I'll see you next time with more budget-friendly tech tips, tutorials, and reviews.
White boy.